All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Grace Notes podcast. Pew, 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 pew. I'm Rocky.
I'm Josh.
And I'm David.
And we're back. This is a podcast where we talk about our love for and our faith in and our sanctification process with Jesus Christ. And we also all three of us are musicians. Wow, that was a sentence. All three of us are musicians. And we talk about how the Lord moves in the music that we do, whether it be teaching elementary students or working on doctoral big boy performances. Yeah, so guys, speaking of awkward...
Can you tell it's been a month?
It's been a month since we've sat down in the studio, really, to do an official one of these. We did one over Riverside virtually, was the last full episode. And then we took a 2-week hiatus, and we didn't let you know where we were, and we're sorry. We should have sent a letter. But we're considering that our summer vacation. It was crazy. You're going to hear some stories. I was in Idaho. You guys had stuff going on at the same time.
Yes.
And then I think also where else? Oh yeah, cruise. We did that whole thing. There's a lot, not in that order, but we've done a whole lot of things over the past month. And summer is basically over halfway over for me.
Yeah.
So crazy times. And we'll have more announcements about things in the future coming up eventually. But for right now, it's so good to be back with you guys.
So good to be back.
Very, very good to be back.
We're here.
Be back.
Yeah.
Be back.
Be back. Sorry, not beat back. Be back.
Be back.
Yeah, I can safely say that while I've enjoyed all the time away that I've had, whether it be on the cruise or in Idaho or anywhere in between, I really have enjoyed. Yesterday, there's a little behind the scenes moment for all of our listeners. We actually got together and we went to Bojangles, and it was just us eating chicken, fries, and or bow rounds.
and or bow rounds.
And just getting to hang out like we do, which is kind of how this podcast kind of started. But David brought up a good point months ago, and well, it feels like months ago.
Yeah, it probably was.
Where he was like, the podcast is great, but we never just hang out to hang out. I was like, that is so fair, and we should do it. So after this, I'm playing the new rhythm, Heaven.
Yes.
We're all into the World Cup now. Since the last episode, there's been like a transition. Like everyone is talking about the World Cup, and I'm usually not involved with sports. That's a whole side topic. But as we traditionally do, let's get into the Grace section.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the Grace section, everyone, where we, as I remind myself too, hold on, Josh has a yellow card up.
I was going to say, I have a yellow card up. Speaking of actually the color yellow, you have an update for us concerning a particular video game.
Oh, before we get into Grace section, yeah. So remember the running joke of, have I finished Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Yes.
The answer is the real credits have rolled on the game.
He's done it.
I've done it.
He has done it.
I'm in post game, still trying to see what I can discover, but for all intents and purposes, I have completed my initial run of Donkey Kong Bonanza and beat the final boss.
All right.
It finally happened. It took 19 episodes.
19 episodes.
But we got there.
In 1 week.
And 1 week. Can you... that's what happens when you have time off, I suppose. On a plane, that's a long time, and you have time to sit down and do it. But I don't know. What was the release date of Donkey Kong Bonanza?
July 17th, 2025.
So,
almost a year ago.
So I beat it in under a year. Let's go. Metroid Prime 4, you're next. All right. haven't booted that one up yet either. So Josh is double checking the date of that, I think.
Yep. Oh, wow. July 17th, 2025.
Wow. Too bad that wasn't a trivia question. I know.
REM right there.
Oh, man. David's going to have to rewrite it if that was one of those trivia questions. Anyways, the Grace...
I can't believe I got that.
That was insane. The Grace section. This is where we ask 2 questions, always, every time. What is one way God has moved in your life these weeks? And what is one thing God has been teaching and showing you in these weeks that we have kind of had this hiatus? So, boys, who wants to go first? Not everybody all at once.
I usually start. I'd like to volunteer someone else this time.
Okay.
I can kick it
all right, David's kicking it off.
Coming back into
like
it.
football. Sorry, kick it off.
Like soccer, you mean?
Yeah, sure.
No, football.
All right. What God has been teaching me the past couple of weeks, and that is just what constant dedication to something really does to your mental self and your physical self, whether it's doing fitness, whether it's gym or running, like we have been talking about a lot recently. I guess it has been almost a month since we last done it, so I've completed all of June's workouts that I created for myself, and I only missed one running session out of 16 running sessions. And I've never done that before, and I added weight training to it too, and thank God that I didn't get injured with all that extra load, because I was able to do it safely, and my running is in the best shape it's ever been. And so it just shows like how constant dedication and constant commitment to something really benefits, reaps its rewards in the hard work that you put into it. And if I can do that with running and fitness, and I need to just do it with percussion next, and obviously I need to start doing that more with reading the Bible and praying to God as well. And although all the fitness stuff has been great, reading the Bible has been kind of pushed off a little bit because of all of it. And so now I just need to take that mindset to the same thing that has allowed me to do this in the first place. And that's just something that God's been teaching me in the past week, especially like with the military stuff. It's kind of ties into the show, what God has been showing me. He showed me what my next path is for the next 3 years. And I had 2 open doors for a while. It was very confusing and putting a lot of like mental stress in my head. And God opened both of those doors for me for a reason. And now that the military door is closed because of health reasons that they wouldn't waiver or anything, it was very upsetting. I was looking forward to that live audition. But I emailed the committee, and they were very respectful in their email, and they were very kind about it. And now I know I'm staying for UGA for 3 years for my DMA. And all this running that I've been doing and all this fitness that I've been doing directly ties into my dissertation, which God put that there for a reason, to do this for my dissertation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it also is just going to make my percussion playing a lot better too, because percussion instruments are heavy, and a lot of them are. A lot of them are very light as well. But it will just help me have a better posture in my playing and just a better quality of life as I do everything I do. And I'm so excited to go into the school year now and be the healthiest I've ever been in my life going into the school year.
Yeah. I see all the stuff that you do. Obviously, we share a group chat. I don't know if the world knows this. I hope they do.
Now they do.
Now they know. No, you cannot.
They could assume it.
They could probably assume. Also, you're not invited. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
And by that, I mean the audience. You guys are
Talkers
obviously...
only.
Wait, what? No, we have a group chat, and David posts on there. And we all post on there all the time. We do workouts, but every time I see David's, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Like, David's the GOAT. Like,
it's true.
I'm just out here trying to survive to get to the half marathon, and David's like, I might be Superman tomorrow, you know.
And me with the 5K.
Yeah, it's...
Last week, that was the first time I ever ran 5 days in a row.
Wow.
And my legs felt like I could run another day. And then
Rocky and I are shaking our heads.
It just keeps on.
I just realized this was an audio-only podcast, and I'm like shaking my head, and people can't see it.
But it's one of the things where, like, the last 2 years, I've only been doing running and no fitness and no gym. Mm-hmm. And now I've been doing 3 days of gym on top of the 4 days of running. And my legs can actually recover because of the gym sessions. And so I can already tell a difference because of that. And so I'm very excited for that.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a culmination of what God's been showing me and teaching me, just constant dedication to where I can eventually bring it to reading the Bible more and praying more and just applying what I've learned in June with the fitness stuff to the personal relationship with God that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's those little things we don't think about. It's like when you put a penny in a jar or $1 in a jar or any amount that feels really small, kind of each day, it doesn't feel like you're doing much. But then, $365 later, you're like, well, shoot, you know, and, you know, subsequently as you go. So sometimes, and I guess that's a good segue kind of into, I guess I'm going to reverse it too. So normally I do what is one way God's moved in your life, but now I'm switching and doing number 2 first. What is one thing God has been teaching or showing me this week? Is that even when it doesn't feel like something is necessarily working, but you know it's the, like, you know, obviously seek Jesus, seek his will, read the word, even when it feels like that, and you're, as my wife would say, in the depths of spaghetti, or any other like form of, like, you just don't feel well, something's not working out the way you thought, you got this news, it's not good, whatever it is. If you continue to seek that relationship with Christ, and you continue to read his word, and you continue to do all the things I shouldn't say supposed to do, but do the things that you know he is not only commanded, but has, like, said, this is the gateway to life. Like, here, like, where else can we go? Like, that's what, you know, Peter said when, like, so many of his disciples turned away after, it's somewhere in John. I just recently read it. But Jesus turns to the 12 and goes, are you going to leave as well? And Peter steps forward and is like, you have the words of eternal life. Where else can we go? You are the Christ, you know? And that's it. And I think that's what, you know, God's really been teaching and showing me this week. We talked about it a little bit yesterday at Bojangles, but just continue to put that time in, and whether you feel anxious or whatever, just keep seeking the Lord, and eventually like things will, like, he will win out in his beautiful glory, and his righteousness, and his grace, and his mercy will just flow, and his presence will flow if you just keep seeking him. It may not feel like it's working, but it is. And so thank you all for praying yesterday for me in all of that. I feel a lot less anxious today, and I just feel the glory of the Lord throughout. So that's something he's definitely showed me recently, and over the past little bit. So that's been really great. As far as what is one way God has moved in my life these weeks, I got to shout out a few people. First of all, Andre, the flight attendant.
Yes, my boy Andre.
Andre, if you're listening to this by some odd chance, incredible. So long story short, Marissa and I went to the Atlanta airport. If you know the Atlanta airport, I'm sorry. And we were in line, and we basically we got through security. We were there like 2 hours ahead of time, like we normally have, but it just did not work out for us in security. And we had to run from the escalators all the way to our gate at the very end of the terminal. And we got there, and I was, you know, I'm training for a half marathon. I was winded. And so Marissa kind of comes up, and like, she does not look well. And so the flight attendant thinks there's some sort of medical emergency going on. And this is Andre, the goat. And he gives us, I still have it, little box of water, literally like a carton of water, and gives it to Marissa and says, hey, we're not going anywhere. Just take a minute here. Don't come onto the plane like this. Just take a few minutes and breathe. Like, we ain't going anywhere without you. And then throughout the flight, he kept checking on us, and he said he would be praying for us. And even when we were getting off the plane, I turned to him and I said, thanks for being the visible presence of Jesus today. Like, it really meant a lot. And of course, our flight woes weren't over, but it meant so much seeing the Lord work through this flight attendant when we just ran up to the gate. And then just seeing when we were out in Idaho, just how beautiful it is out there, seeing the Lord's handiwork, absolutely amazing. I just had my breath taken away every day and said, I can't believe this is real. How is this reality? How is there no humidity either? Like, I don't understand it. And then our host got to share a lot of her testimony with us too while we were out there, and that was really inspiring to see how the Lord works through tragedy and works through things, and that's been really cool. And she's really wonderful, and we love Mary. And then, of course, just getting to spend, like I mentioned on the cruise, getting to spend time with Marissa outside of our normal, like, everyday schedule. Huge blessing. Just, you know, whether she was in rehearsal and I was editing a video in Idaho, or we were on the cruise ship or whatever, just getting to spend that time together and explore Idaho or explore the cruise ship or explore wherever we are. It's been awesome. And I will never, ever take that for granted. That was, it was literally incredible. The Lord clearly works through that. And shout out to Prince Avenue. After being gone for so long, coming back to PABC, just like worship fest. Like, it was amazing to be back.
New sanctuary.
In the new sanctuary, of course. And guys, this is kind of an announcement. I don't know if you knew this, but Prince Avenue sermons are now on YouTube.
Really?
I have subscribed.
I did not know that.
It's public. Subscribe. Prince Avenue Baptist Church on YouTube.
They joined the others.
We're finally on YouTube.
That's good.
And they also do more than just sermons. They have like the highlight reel from Camp 78 and that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So that, I really am glad they're on YouTube. It's a lot easier to get to. And I'm subscribed. So if I miss, like, I'm going to miss Sunday because I'm traveling, I can just wait for it to pop up in my subscription feed.
Yeah, that's
true. And it'd be great. And then let's see. Blessings in ways he's moved. I've been waiting to buy a new computer for a long time, and this week the Lord moved through my wife and my mom to push me and said, "You need to get a new computer. Yours sounds like it's taking off." So this may be the last episode, like a jet engine. This may be the last episode recorded on this computer, which would be great. But if it's not, it's not. But we could be. And again, the Lord, I just love seeing him in all the little details throughout all of this stuff. It's just always incredible. And I just feel so fortunate that he chooses to love us despite all of our flaws, despite everything. When we couldn't be holy enough for him and his perfection that he is, he said, "No, I got you. I'll do it myself." Comes as Jesus. Jesus dies for all of us. It's just beautiful the more I think about it continually. So that's been my grace update.
All right, fantastic. I guess that leaves me for my grace section. So firstly, what is one way God moved in your life these weeks? And there are several pretty big updates. The first of which, I feel like I got to talk about this first. The wedding, where I wore the kilt.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I did have notes in the doc saying that when I duplicated it for this episode to put the kilt video in the show notes. So the kilt video will be in the show notes. Yes, Josh is going to upload it somewhere that we'll have a link.
Yep, I'll have it there. So I got to, well, this kind of ties into like my idea of like hitting my goals and all of those things. When I got the kilt, the wedding was on June 20th. I went, getting there the day before, tried on the kilt, and everything was way too big because they'd measured me before I'd lost all the weight.
Ooh.
So I'm sitting here like, this is awesome. I've lost the weight.
It's a good problem to have, yeah.
But also like, oh crap, the wedding's tomorrow.
Do you have a belt for a kilt?
That belt literally was on the tightest notch it could have been.
Oh my god!
You drill an extra notch.
We almost had to. But in some ways it was a little stressful, Yeah. But in other ways I was like, this is a good problem to have. Because if it were the other way around, it would have not been as fun, I imagine.
Yeah.
So the wedding itself, though, it was everything you could ask for it to be. It was a great location. We hired some musicians from the School of Music, all horn players, to come in, and they all performed fantastically. I was best man. Oh, by the way, it's very stressful to be best man. That's a big job to have, but I was told I did good in it, so we'll take it for what it is. My speech, I didn't mess up over my words too bad, so nice. Another huge win.
We'd like to thank the Grace Knows podcast for the practice.
Let me tell you, being on the podcast has helped my public speaking so much, especially as a teacher. Like, I find myself going back to my podcast voice, and I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. I actually do this pretty well now.
I don't know if the podcast has made me worse at it for the amount of times that I mess up certain things and get back to it. You guys heard the intro of this podcast, right? Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, no, you're good. So that was all fantastic. I'm still working at Olive Garden, and that's all fine and dandy. I'm getting more used to the flow of the job, and my last shift was actually the earliest I was able to get out because we were so on top of things. So that's awesome. More of my goals. I'm steadily at 195 pounds.
Yes, sir.
And what really made me realize the progress I've been making, sometimes I get in like these nostalgic moods where I'll go back and watch old videos and like reminisce on the good times or at the time, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things I look back at was our DCI Night Beat vlog that Rocky uploaded.
It's a fun, it doesn't have a lot of views, but gosh darn it, it was a fun video.
It was a great video and a really fun trip. And I was, at the end, we're all sitting on this couch that me and David are sitting on, and we're talking about our scores, and I'm looking at me, and my face, I literally look like I'm swollen.
He showed it to me the other day. I was like, I don't remember Josh being this big. I don't.
Hey, trust me, I didn't either. So that's me. Part of me was like, dang, that's wild. And the other part's like, dang, that's awesome that I'm actually putting in the effort and like I'm actually seeing changes.
Yeah.
So yes, and ultimately that's a testament to how these guys here have been supporting me through it, especially David.
The Coach Goat.
The Coach Goat. Well, let me say, the Couch to 5K plan, I was sent a message in that group chat that Rocky talked about a little while ago, and it said, you have no choice, you start on this day. Like, good luck. And I said, okay, I guess I'm doing it.
We had just finished the run.
We had
just finished the
which
run.
was like back springing to that run. Like I had only really ran a 5K.
Yeah.
Like that, I was just doing it. I was one of those runners that like ran and never got any better at running, but just like was like, I'm doing this to stay the same.
And we were going to do 3 miles.
Yeah, and David was like, let's go. And we were just talking the whole time. And we went 4.5, and I was like, that was easy.
Yeah.
And then at that point, David unlocked this whole like potential of, you can run more. And at that point, we sent you the thing, and it was like, you're going to do the 5K. And we decided, did we decide we were doing the half at that point? Or
Yeah,
no?
I think like a week later or so.
A week later, we decided we were doing the half.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep. And I was looking back at my first ever 5K that I did. My first 5K, I ran it in about 53 minutes. Mm-hmm. My fastest time in my plan is about 36 minutes. So, and again, ultimately a testament to how he's been coaching me. Like, seriously, like, it's not just been a running thing, it's been also a habits thing. Mm-hmm. I've been changing how I eat. I've been trying to walk more. I just actually, as of last night, got back into journaling. Yeah. That is a really important thing to have. I'm using the Apple thing where I can put a picture on there and then just write.
The journaling app?
Yeah, it's
I didn't know
it's like Facebook, but without giving it to everyone.
Yeah. Well, seriously.
Snapchat too.
Yeah. Well, like it's a thing that it goes off for me like every day at noon, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's there. And then I've never like actually looked at it until last night. And as I was writing stuff, I was like, man, I need to be doing this way more often. So I'm building those better habits, and my mindset's become a lot more clear through it. God's definitely moving in those ways, 100%. There's been many things he's been teaching me these past couple of weeks, but if I could hone it into one main point, this is what I wrote. There really is nothing, not a thing in this world better to seek than him and his glory. All things of this world amount to nothing in comparison. I've been in this trap of like trying to plan out my future and trying to really grasp everything, like grasping at straws, trying to get everything. And the Lord's like, dude, relax. I got this. Let me do my work. You just got to look at me. Don't be looking at all the moving parts. Just keep your eyes on me and things will work out. I promise you. There's a sense of inadequacy that I've also been struggling with a little bit, and anxious thoughts have been kind of coming in and out, especially these past couple of days for whatever reason.
Yeah, we were relating to that last night. I too had felt that as well.
Yeah, and I was reminded last night when I was praying that those thoughts are not of the Lord. Like, they're just there to distract me. If the devil can't find a way to attack you, he'll find a way to hold your attention so you miss something.
Yeah, and like if he knows that we're already like locked into the Jesus plan, you know, we got the oh my gosh.
The Jesus movement.
The Jesus movement. What was I going to say? I'm thinking like a phone plan. I was trying to make it really, really like good and like a good analogy, but I think it failed now that I'm explaining it. But we are locked in for life to the Jesus plan, and there's nothing we can, like, he's not going to be able to snatch us out of his hand.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So what can he do but distract us or have us focus on other things? I I guess that would be distracting us as well.
Yeah.
Just enough so that we don't experience the fullness of who he is. And we don't see those blessings in our lives. And for me, I loved the the Bible Project's the 10 Commandments, the 10 Words series. And I just love how Hebrew culture never thought of anything that they had as theirs, right? Like it all belonged to the Lord. We're all like somewhat renting it right now. And it's all going back to him. Like they thought that way about land with the year of Jubilee. They thought that way about with like people and like selling themselves into slavery to pay for things. And eventually they'd be set free in the year of Jubilee. Like all these things. And I think in American society, I think it's nice to think about not like everything that we quote unquote own, like it isn't ours. It's a little more freeing when you go, this is what God has stewarded me with, and I'm going to use it to honor him. And if something happens to it, well, it was God's anyway. And you know, that's what he meant it to be. Or if something gets taken away, or you spend this money to help this other person, or, you know, whatever you think about, like you're only borrowing it for right now.
Right.
That's a mind shift.
Yeah. So that was what stuck out to me. And God's also been reminding me the importance of practical righteousness.
Oh yeah.
The habits that you build, not just to say that you've done them, but to acknowledge where your heart is at, right? Actually kneeling down in prayer in your room, or giving yourself time with the Lord, whether it's in the morning or the evening, reading your Bible, fasting. I'm doing a fast now. I'm eating only from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's the only time I'm eating right now. And then also, I don't know if I've told Rocky this. I know David knows about it. After the 5K, I'm taking a social media fast. I'm not going to have Instagram or Facebook or anything of the sort. I'm just going to get rid of it. A lot of my time's been placed with scrolling, and I just don't want that to take place of better things.
Right.
So he's going to, David's going to help me in setting up like a screen time lock thing. And that way there's just no way for certain that I can get into those platforms. Yeah. So instead I could be spending my time with the Lord. Because that's the point of doing these things. You don't just do a fast just to eat at the window and that's it. You get rid of something to put in place the Lord, right? Yep. You don't just get rid of something because then you have a hole there, and then guess what? Anything can get in there.
It's true.
It can be the root of another besetting sin, and that's the last thing that we want, right? Yep. So it's building habits not just to do them, but again to acknowledge where our hearts need to be for the Lord.
Correct. And for the record, for our listeners, that 5K is July the 11th. That's coming up this weekend. And the day after this episode comes out.
Correct.
Yeah, I just thought of this while we were listening to you guys. And I was like, why haven't I done it yet? And so I'm using Claude to like get feedback from my runs and stuff like that. Kind of like a free coach, basically.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I'm coaching myself properly.
Right.
And so I was just like, this tracking and running is working well with this plan. Why don't I just have it help me create a Bible reading plan, like a running plan?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And so just add like minutes at a time, like 5 minutes or then 10 minutes or 3 verses and 6 verses. So I'm going to see if I can make that work tonight, probably.
Yeah. And I think that's a wonderful idea.
That'll be an update. For next time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I like that because there is no one set plan that works for every single person, I don't think. Yeah. Unless that plan is just open the book.
Yeah, no,
that's what I've been doing and how it's been working.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I did the Bible reading plan in a year, and it didn't happen in a year, so I just kind of followed it day by day as and like played catch up, did things, and that gave me a great overview of the whole story. Finally, after all of those years, like finally had it. And now I find myself going back through like singular books and doing specific things. And once I feel like I've started to like, I'm not excited about X, Y, or Z. Like for instance, I started studying the poetry in Isaiah. I think we talked about this on the podcast, like looking at the poetic language and breaking it down. Sometimes I wouldn't even do a chapter at a time. It'd be a few stanzas or a stanza or 2 stanzas. And it just got to the point where it felt more calculated than it felt personal. And so I've taken a break from that. And now I'm going back through John. I'm doing reflections on John, my individual, because we did a huge sermon series on John for like how long at Prince Avenue? Like that was like the first sermon series I saw when we got there. And it was like a year and a half. And so I'm going back through it and like filling in some of those gaps. And you talk about the use of AI. AI is such a great tool. It's even a great like study companion. If you know the like you've studied something before or you want an in-depth look into it, obviously double check it. But if you've like, I have one set up, I said, you're my personal Bible research assistant. This is the translation that I'm looking at. This is blah, 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 you know, all of these things. And it's just been cool to plug and go, hey, I just read John 12. Okay. Can you give me some breakdown, insight, Hebrew context within John 12? And a lot of those things are like, yep, I already knew that. Yep, I already knew that. Yep. Okay. I've read that before. Oh, that's interesting. That word. Let me look up that word to make sure it's right. Oh yeah. Okay. That's cool. And it's been a lot of help for like, I go through it first and then like kind of sum up my thoughts. And then I open it up and I go, okay, teach me some things maybe I didn't know. And it's a great tool for that. Don't use it as your preacher, please. This is a PSA. Don't use AI as your preacher. Yeah. You need to be able to fact check everything that it says.
Yeah. Good disclaimer.
But it can be a great tool for expediting understanding of things maybe you missed.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I guess with that, it's time for trivia. I love when it's all together.
I almost said Grace Notes.
It's time for Grace Notes. All right, David's still got the questions. By the way, for the people at home, we have the score right now is David is giving the questions. So I have 1 point. Josh has 1 point. David also has 1 point.
That's right.
I forgot how that happened, but it did. So I hear that this week's questions
was the World Cup question.
Was the World Cup question? Yeah, so we failed that one. So David gets the point. What are our questions about this week?
Yeah, gaming or gaming?
I would prefer
like gaming more.
Right.
Oh, but no, gaming.
No, gaming.
Gaming.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
All right, we'll do gaming.
Sounds good. All right, gaming.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'll do the second question first. How many years has it been between the original Wii Sports Resort and the new upcoming Switch Sports Resort this year in October?
Oh, that's a
really good question because it was a pivotal time when this came out.
I think I have an answer though.
Okay, so if the Wii last...
So Wii Sports Resort and the new... Okay, got it.
Okay.
Is it like
Not
closest...
Wii Sports Resort.
Right, and it's closest...
Closest to the year.
Can I go pull my Wii Sports Resort cartridge?
Are you looking for the span of years?
No, it's the exact year that it came out.
So Wii Sports Resort.
Wait, sorry.
You want the exact...
I want the span of years, the distance between when it originally came out and like the date that the new one's coming out.
Okay, so you want the year Wii Sports Resort came out and or do you want the...
Just a span of years.
Okay, got it.
So just take this year minus the year and then give the number.
Too literally. I'm sorry. That's totally my bad.
I misunderstood it at first, yeah.
I'm doing the math right now. And while we contemplate our Wii Sports and Switch Sports Resort knowledge, we're going to take a quick break. The answers will be at the end as always. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Grace Notes. It's time for our roundtable. Table. All right, if you're new here, the roundtable section is where one of us poses a question regarding the Lord, regarding maybe how he's worked, or one of you leave us a question, and we also do similar things with it, and we just talk about it. It's a roundtable discussion, even though this table is a rectangle. You can't see it.
True.
But, I mean, you could imagine it's circular, but that would be false.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Josh, you have the roundtable question this week.
I do. And then after stating the question, I will provide my own answer.
All right.
The question for today is this. God shows himself to his people in all kinds of ways, especially in the ways that we least expect. Can you think of a way that God has humbled you? I'll give an example for me. So, kind of back into my testimony, I think I sort of kind of talked about this. I was set to be a like producer / performer for like all of high school and throughout my undergrad. And I was so set on just performing. And then everything changed when I got to grad school. Everything. I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying my performances and everything's going well. And that was through my undergrad, but the same thing for my master's too. When I was in my master's degree, I didn't have a teaching job, technically. I was in the Southern Wind Quintet, the graduate women quintet at UGA. And I was also doing grading for like music theory for non-majors. So I wasn't teaching a class per se. So when I was offered to teach oral skills for my doctorate, part of me was very excited, but the other part was like, I don't know if that's what I want to do. I don't know if I want to teach fully. And I remember the first day I went in to teach oral skills, I legit felt like I was going to throw up. I was so nervous and I was like, I don't know, this is not my thing. And then within the next like week or two, I got into this feeling of looking forward to it. And like the students I had both my first and second year so far have been just amazing students. And, building the connections with them and getting the experience that I've had with them, I go to God and be like, Lord, I'm so just grateful for like this opportunity to teach. And I could just imagine him up there like, yep, I know. I told you, you teach. Because I feel like there were opportunities before in my undergrad where he wanted me to do that. And I was like, no, I'm a performance major. No, I'm a producer. And I'm not a teacher per se. And then I can't remember who exactly said it to me, but someone who was a teacher of mine, they said, listen, if you're going to perform, you're also going to teach. Get over it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll teach. And I'm sitting here kind of battling myself and like, I don't see myself as a teacher. I get very nervous when I did public speaking. I would not like prepare as well as I could have or whatever. I would always make excuses as to why I wouldn't be a good teacher. And then I go in, I trust the Lord with it and it goes really well. And it seems like the students I've had so far have benefited from it. And I just know like, it's funny. God knows all the things, but he knows every step of the journey you're going to take. So I imagine he's sitting with me in the moments where I'm like, I'm not going to be a teacher when he knows I'm going to be a teacher. And he's like, dude, what are you talking about? So I would say he humbled me in the sense of like, I tried to fight my own identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
or your assignment.
My assignment. I thought I was a performer, but God gave me a assignment in teaching too. And that's something I need to like be fully in and serve in. So I would say in the way he's humbled me, it's just remind me where my assignments are and being fully present in those assignments, no matter how I may or may not feel about them.
Yeah. And I before we record this segment, I was, feeling the same way with Josh. It's like how I felt about elementary music teaching. Like I was teaching high school band, high school band directors, control freaks, have our noses in the air, think we're cooler than canned bread, all this stuff. SpongeBob reference for those of you that may not get it.
Canned bread.
And then he was like, no, you're going to be an elementary music teacher, even though you said you never would. And you're going to do it for many years. More than you thought. And again, it's just one of those humbling experiences because it's allowed me to do this podcast. It's allowed me to do so many things that I enjoy. And my identity is not just my work.
Right.
Anymore.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's been wonderful. And to be more plugged in at Prince and, local church and that kind of stuff. So cool. David, do you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next. So my humbling experience through God has been more of him just not allowing me to do something anymore. Like,
oh yeah.
And the first one is a little bit quicker than the second one, so I'll go with this one first. But my first year as an elementary music teacher, right after undergrad, I was probably 22 or 21, 22. And it was obviously scary because you're a first year teacher, and I was even quieter than I am now back then. And when you're an introvert, becoming an elementary teacher, especially a music teacher, is very frightening sometimes. And I made it through the first year thanks to the online resources we had at the time and the 10 elementary music teachers that were in the county. They were helpful so much. And the last 2 weeks of school that first year, I lost my voice from overdoing it and letting them have fun with drums and all that stuff in the classroom. But it was too much to where I didn't have a microphone at the time, like a packed microphone. And that's when I realized I needed to get that for the next year and teach off of that. And so God hold of me. He's like, hey, you really need to take care of how you speak and how you do all these things and drink water, because I was probably not drinking enough water. I was doing a lot of like Coke and all that stuff during school, soda.
Let it be known. It's Coca-Cola.
The soda. In the bottle soda. Or can.
But sorry, I have some.
You got to be clear nowadays. Yeah. You got to be clear.
You never know.
You never know.
So yeah, it was just a really humbling moment to where it's like, okay, I need to actually learn how to exhale, inhale properly, and breathe. Like just what I was teaching the elementary students, I need to actually do it myself and actually learn how to speak properly so that I don't lose my voice again. Because you want the last couple of weeks of school to be fun for you and the students.
Amen.
And so losing your voice is not making fun for you at all.
It may make it fun for the students.
Yeah.
But not fun for you.
Definitely. So that was the first one. Then the second one, it kind of leads up to where I am today, actually. A year later from that, I was getting ready for church one Sunday morning. My roommate at the time was my best friend Trevor, who we still stay in touch all the time. And he was out of the house probably for church or something. I can't remember what it was. So it was just me in the house, and I was getting ready. And then all of a sudden, I passed out. And I woke up, I think, like 30 minutes later in my bathroom. And it was really, really scary. I had bruises on my forehead. I had a giant scrape down my back. I had bloody toes and my stomach and all that stuff. And that my parents were at my grandparents' house because it was my granddad's birthday. They do an annual butchering for that. And so they were in South Carolina, not North Carolina. I was in Virginia. And so I thought to myself, I saw my bump in the head. I was like, I might have gotten a concussion, but I don't feel like I did. And so I stupidly drove myself to the emergency room instead of calling someone at church. Instead of calling someone at church, even though I knew they would definitely come and pick me up and drive me. And yeah, so I did that very stupidly. And I made it there, and they took me to the hospital, and that's when we found out that I had very terminally low calcium. And that was when they had to just get a whole bunch of things, like 1,000 milliliters of calcium in my blood system across the whole day in the hospital. And it was like the lowest it could be, just from my health condition. Nothing I could have done about it. And so that changed my whole entire health journey. And it led to where God home with me right there to where, okay, I need to be more healthy. I need to actually take charge of what I need to do. And the calcium stuff, like learning all about calcium and all the pills and all that stuff. And now to the new medicine that came out last year that I'm taking now. But it led to not only me running, it first led me to reffing soccer. Because okay, I think this happened because I was too stressed. I was only doing music, and I was only music teaching because I was in a band at the time. And so I was playing on Friday nights, Saturday nights, every week or every other week. And so all I was doing was either drum set or teaching music. So it's all music, nothing else outside of that. In church and stuff like that. But I was playing at church. So it's like, it was still music. And I think all that stress and all that burnt out was my first time ever experiencing burnout like that. And I think that also led to the pass out. So I decided I needed something different. And so I remembered what I loved, and that was soccer from my younger days as a kid. And so I looked into refereeing. And so I did all the process and went into refereeing for a year in Virginia, and that was so much fun. I got to do some local tournaments, and whenever Trevor moved out, I did some tournaments over in his county, went and visited him, and it was just a lot of fun. And that got me into training for that, because as a ref, you have to be able to run, because you have to keep up with the players. And so, especially as a sideline referee, it's side to side like that all the time. And so I started training for the refereeing, and that's when I found out I like running, which I never ran before in my life before that, really, because I couldn't because of my condition, or at least I thought I couldn't because of that. And then 3 years later, where we are today, is my current running journey because of it. And so God humbled me in that very moment just to bring it to where I am today.
Yeah. And I think you could even tack on like, Navy band kind of things too. Like you've had the negative effects of obviously the health condition that you have, but it's also closed doors. And like you said, provided more clarity.
Yep.
And the Lord's just like, okay, there's your path, sir. And I think that all of that's wonderful just to see it all. And you're also coaching us in the World Cup. Not that we're in the World Cup, that we're watching it.
Yeah, right.
And we're learning how it works. I learned the official rules for offsides yesterday. So
you're ahead of me.
We'll get you there, buddy.
We'll get there
after the 5K.
Yeah, right. That's next.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it's just awesome to see how he works through all that, and also really glad you didn't like have a concussion on the way to the hospital.
Yeah,
really glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, not my brightest moment.
It's okay. You made it to the other side. For me, less extravagant story. But this morning, I haven't told them this yet, so this is an on the fly reaction. So this morning, Marissa and I. Long story short, Marissa had knee surgery as a young adult, and she cannot really run really anymore without it really like doing harm to her knees, because her kneecaps are kind of free floating now. So as a result, like, she wants to be fit. I want to keep running, as you know. So today I have hills. Hills, yeah, the worst. I know. It comes up every so often, like once a month or so. And I have to go do hills, and there's this wonderful place David showed me. I say wonderful, but it's also kind of like the worst.
Very humbling.
Yeah, it's very humbling. It's very humbling. Yeah. And so anyways, I was like, Marissa, you should come with me. But I was also like, I run there and back. So I would like leave you. So like, well, I don't know what to give you a head start to get there. And like, I don't know. And so she's like, well, I could, if I had a bike, I could like actually keep up. And I was like, oh, so we just decided I'm going to go get you a bike this morning. Like, they're not very expensive, but they're good quality. Went to Walmart, pick up a bike. Great. And like, she knows about this. It was not a surprise. I wasn't like trying to hide it or anything. Like we talked about it last night. It was like, okay, let's get you a bike. So I drive over this morning to go pick up the bike. Easy. It's not, I don't have to assemble it. It's already assembled. I just wheel it out. It's a funny sight. Wheeling a whole bike to like the self-checkout and going and then paying and then just rolling out with it. And then I was like, yeah, I can probably fit this in my car if I lay the seats down. And so like I get it in there, like I'm parked next to this handicap section, and there's this lady who's definitely in her car watching this whole thing like transpire.
Of course. But
like I'm trying to fit this bike in the back of my Tesla Model 3, which is a sedan. All right. And so I'm like, get it in there. And like, it looks like it's pretty much seated. Like the handlebar's kind of sideways, but it's like in, and it's like as much as it'll go. And I like go to close it, and like, it will not close by like an inch or so. And I'm like, I could drive home like this, but this seems, and it's right down the road. It's like very sketchy. So I pull it out. I was like, well, maybe if I put it in from the side. That went worse. So second time, no, and it's getting hotter. And I'm like, this lady's still in her car, I'm pretty sure. And I'm like, feel like I'm being watched. And so like I go to try again from the back. What if I flip the wheel around so it's a little bit shorter wheelbase, or the handlebars are facing the other way, or whatever the case is, and I like try to push it in. Absolute fail. So at this point I was like, well, I can do one of two things. I can put it back in there and try to close the trunk, or then it came to my mind, I'm gonna ride the bike home. And when I was so frustrated, the Lord just humbled me. He's like, just ride the bike home. Just ride it home.
Ride it, man. Just ride it.
And it's not, and we live right next to Walmart, so it's not like I'm like biking like, a half a mile down the road. Like it's barely down the road, like a tenth of a mile maybe. And I'm not even on the road. I'm taking the back way into my neighborhood is connected to the Walmart parking lot basically. So I like ride, like this 32-year-old like grown man is like riding this bike that's like a nice teal color, just with all the tags still on it, like riding it all the way back down through the parking lot to his home. And then I walked back to get my car and drove it back. And I just laughed. Like, it was so much fun. Like, I was like, I texted Marissa. I was like, hey, your bike works great. And what could have been frustrating, the Lord humbled me in that moment. It's like, you don't have to fit this in your car. And I think a lot of times we think about the Lord humbling us and we feel like punitive and small, or like, oh man, we were wrong. But I think so. There are often times where he's like, stop being, it's not that serious. Like, just, you could, like, there were other options. I could have had Marissa like come pick me up there. I could have, whatever, but it was like, no, just ride the bike home. And it was hilarious. I had a good time. The wind in my hair. I laughed, had a good laugh about it. I took a picture. It's great.
So what you're saying is Marissa can now record your running journey, and you're going to have a running YouTube channel now.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
true.
Not. I will not. They will be motivating to tens of people. She might get some pictures tonight as I do these hills and tie a little bit to myself. But we'll see how it goes. So, anyways, that's how he humbled me literally this morning, and it was hilarious and uplifting. Yeah, which is great.
I actually thought of one more.
Oh, go for it.
Way in which he humbled me. I may have mentioned it in my testimony. I may have not mentioned it on the podcast yet, but I know both of the gentlemen in here know this story.
Yep.
Last summer, I had some very bad habits. And there was one stretch of time in, I believe it was June, where in the span of 2 days, I had maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And I had to drive from Athens back to Dahlonega. And I was under this mindset of like, I have to do everything all the time, all at once, and I have to be doing something or else I'm not being productive. So I was driving home on 5 hours of sleep in the span of 2 days, fell asleep on the wheel, and then I got a flat tire. And my first thought was, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
That could have been a person. It could have been another car. It could have been a multitude of things. But the Lord provided, and it was just a pothole. I veered off there with my flat tire, and I got where I needed to be safely. But the Lord kind of took me where I was, and he was like, you need to slow down. You need to rest. You need to be patient with yourself, and you don't have to do all the things.
Yeah.
You just got to look at me, and then that's it. That was another moment where he like really humbled me. Like, I remember I called my professor and talked about it. I called my parents because they had to come pick me up. Like, I had a spare tire, but we got it on, and then they drove behind me to make sure I was awake, and then I fell asleep for 11 hours.
Oh, hibernation.
Hibernation. I woke up and I felt phenomenal. It was the greatest sleep of my life. And my professor, Dr. James Nagus, was actually very supportive on, like, he's like, you start at one point. For me, it was undergrad, where I was under this mindset where, like, I got to keep doing all the things. And I think that just kept cascading into this point where I just couldn't take it anymore. And then something happened, and it unfortunately happened in a flat tire in my car. Yeah. And I fell and falling asleep on the wheel. So through him, and all the people that I was with, the Lord reminded me that, it is okay to take rest when you are not feeling well.
Absolutely.
And when you are overwhelmed. rest in him. Because
Absolutely.
it's so important.
There's the whole, he makes me lie down in green pastures. And the first part of that is sometimes he makes me lie down.
Waters.
Yeah. He makes me, I combine both of those together. He makes me lie down. Sometimes it's like just, it's all you need. That's all you need. Right? I mean, we read the.
He makes me honk shoe.
If you remember, I mean, when we were reading the, oh my gosh, not the Titus 10.
Man for the day.
Yes. When we were reading the Man for the Day, Elijah just needed a good nap, some nice meals, and
he's good.
He's good, you know? And I think it's similar. And I think in a world where we are constantly, like, the world is so concerned with productivity and making, like, are we actually doing anything with our time? In both segments, like you think about don't scroll away your time, which is a great movement. I think is wonderful to put your phone down and go do other things. And like you said, with the fast that you're going to do. And then there's, the opposite of that, which is, oh my gosh, if you're not succeeding at all these things that's put in front of you, you are a loser. And I think that is just false because you only have so much attention and energy to give in a given day before you need to rest and reset that. And I think that prioritizing is key. And I recommend the book. This isn't a Christian book, but Slow Productivity. I actually have it on the shelf over there. I listen to the audiobook. It's on Spotify for free if you have premium. And it's really, really good. I think I might reread it. But the world just needs to slow down because if the devil can't distract you, he will keep you busy.
Yep.
He'll keep you busy.
Yeah, Josh told me yesterday where, like, I've been watching majority of these World Cup games. So, like, some of them are, like, I don't watch the ones that start at 1 a.m. because that's insane. But
except for those people on the cam.
Some people have done that, like
a
YouTuber I follow. But, like, a lot of games will end at, like, 12:30 or 12. And then I got up the next day for my run. And I did it at, like, 8 a.m. or something like that. And I felt pretty good. Like, the run went really well and everything was fine. And then Josh got home from his thing he's doing. And I was just, for some reason, just exhausted. And I was just sitting on the couch watching YouTube, I think. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go take a nap and I never take naps.
This is true. Can't confirm.
And, like, it takes me, like, 20, 30 minutes to fall asleep in general. And so, like, that's how long a nap usually is. And so,
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Kind of pointless at that point.
And then we played Rhythm Heaven.
But, yeah, I just went up and I actually fell asleep for the first time in a long time, like, in the middle of the day.
Get that
and then,
REM.
so it was like 2 o'clock. I did that. And then I had a lesson at 4 before the dinner we had together. And then I made some coffee before my lesson, and I just felt amazing the rest of the night, like just from the nap and the coffee in the middle of the day. Which is 2 things I don't do: is coffee in the middle of the day and napping.
I saw a reel, guys. This relates so well. I saw a reel on Instagram that my wife was showing me, and there was this very country accented lady. She goes, if I ran for president, I would have a mandatory nap. Britain has tea time every day. We would just have nap. You know how many wars we wouldn't have if we had a mandatory nap every day?
Honestly,
how many pointless things we argue about wouldn't be argued about, and how comment sections on the internet would be so much more awesome and not terrible if we just had one mandatory nap every day. Just drop everything.
Germany also does the tea time thing too. Yeah.
There it is. So I think mandatory naps once a day. I think life would be better. Like, I woke up from a nap the other day and I was like, man, I just feel great. Like you said. Yeah. I'm like, I could do the things.
And I went to my lesson, then we had dinner, and then now we're here.
You probably saved more time doing that than if you would have tried to power through all the things miserably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I was freshly energized for the lesson.
Yeah.
And so.
And then I'm going to have some coffee after this.
I might too.
I'll make you guys some.
Me too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds
It's been a while.
Coffee and Rhythm Heaven Groove. Good combo.
Yeah. Gotta
we'll
wait.
See about that.
Gotta wait for those temps to come down outside before I go run the hills.
Yeah, you don't want your heart rate spiking already from the coffee.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. But speaking of, I don't know, there was not a good segue there. I think it's time for us to pray.
Oh yeah.
Do we remember whose turn it is?
Speaking of resting,
I guess. Speaking of closing our eyes, there we go. That works. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Who Do we remember? Does it matter? Should we just start over?
I think David prayed last time.
Okay, then I'll pray us this time. Pray us
Yeah.
out. But yeah, that was roundtable. Great discussion.
Thank you.
Very good.
I agree.
The Lord humbles in so many different ways.
True.
Let us pray. All right, dear Lord, we just thank you so much that we're able to continue to gather here, even after a multi-week hiatus of not being in the I almost call it the Rocky Point studio, the Grace Notes studio. Just getting to talk about you and talk about how wonderful you are and all the wonderful things you do in our lives and the ways that you've humbled us. And these are just a few examples. Lord, you continue to humble us every day. We know there are blessings with those that are humbled, and we just continually seek you. And as Josh said, you are continually worth seeking. Everything else matters nothing. But you are the only thing that truly matters. And if we keep our sights on you, if we continue to seek you every single day, you will continue to not only bless us, but bless those around us and continue to work in us and through us. So we thank you for the opportunity to continue to do this podcast, to reach all the people out there that listen. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. And Lord, we just lift everything up to you. May it all be for your glory and our good. And we just praise your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And I guess that means it's time for Trivia.
All right. Next question about gaming. Across the 9 generations of Pokemon, what is the average amount of Pokemon that have been added to each generation?
Okay, so
The average.
Average, closest wins.
Yes.
so are we including So is the question, is it include regional variants as well, or is it just entries, like unique entries in that
Brand new
Pokedex?
Pokemon
Got it.
to each generation, including the first one. What is the average from all the 9?
Yeah. Well, as you can see, we're really thinking about this and changing our answers. We can't see, but you can hear. And as we contemplate these crazy numbers of Pokemon, we will be right back after this break. All right, welcome back to the notes section of the Grace Notes podcast. So this is where we talk about how the Lord is moving in all things music related in our lives to kind of close out the podcast. And again, it's been really great to be back, guys. I love this.
Absolutely.
So I don't mind going first this time around. So when we got to go up to Idaho, we were going to a town called Moscow. Looks like Moscow, but it's apparently Moscow. And it was awesome. Like, had no plans to see any, like, it's the middle of Idaho. It's like, there's no drum course from Idaho. Like, nothing. I was fully going up to support my wife doing this music festival, Palouse, that's up there. And they said I could come along. So I got to tag along. We had to have some adventures along the way. We got to see the Palouse fields, all the cool things, Steptoe Butte. It was beautiful. And then we're just in this mall that's like in this small town that's beautiful. And there's just this signage that says, Santa Clara Vanguard will be performing their 2026 production for the community at the University of Idaho tomorrow at 7 p.m. And we're like, what? They're here and we're free at that time? And like literally you step outside the mall and you can see the dome where they're going to be performing just right across the street. And you're like, they've been here doing spring training the whole time and I had no idea. Like the Lord working in that was just like, I don't know. I love how he throws in those little joyous moments like the cherry on top that you don't expect. Like what are the odds that we would be in the exact town where SCV is doing like at the exact time it was just crazy. Mm-hmm. And they're not even coming to Atlanta or anywhere close to us.
I'm still so sad about that.
So, they were great. And shout out to my wife who said they were great then, and I was being more critical, but now I'm on her boat and thinking that they were fantastic as well.
Good show.
It's a better show the more I think about it, and they could possibly win if they can actually get it all done and clean it all up. maybe.
I can see it.
So, although my predictions have been wrong before, but it's just, it's just a game. I mean, it's a world competition, but same, it's fine. So anyways, that's how the Lord has definitely moved in music for me this week. And it was just so cool to see. And my Christian song of the week is Rise Up, parentheses, Lazarus, by Kane.
Parentha brackets.
Parentha brackets Lazarus. And it's just such a great song. Just talking about using the analogy of Lazarus being in the tomb, and then of course Jesus calling out. And I just read it in John too, and it just, Lazarus, come out, and like he just walks out, like walking out from darkness and into life, and how that's like a great metaphor for us now too. And it's just really like you just want to get up and dance, like when you listen to it. It's really good. It's just great. Listen to it on the Grace Jams playlist on Spotify.
Yes.
We've made, it's curated. It's all of our Christian songs of the weeks since the beginning of this podcast. So
absolutely,
give it a listen. So that's mine for this week.
Cool.
Passing on over to
I can go
Josh.
next. Yes. So a couple things for me. Firstly, I mentioned a little while back that I had my audition for the Spartanburg Philharmonic. And while I did not win the audition, I am placed on their sub list, and I'll be performing with them in October. So super exciting. I'll be playing on their concert where they're performing in American in Paris. So very excited for that concert. This week I'm working at a symphonic band camp at BASA, the Barrow Science Academy. What's it called again? Stand by while I find the name.
Not Bassett.
Not Bassett, but Bassa.
Barrow Arts and Sciences Academy. The Barrow Arts and Science Academy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm working with a total of 4 horn players.
Brilliant.
And
Nice.
I am testing my dissertation, for those who don't know, is about how aural skills can play a role in teaching middle school and early on horn players. And I've been integrating like error detection exercises and these certain like aural exercises where they like repeat things that they hear. And it seems to work really well so far. And the students are also having a lot of fun. So while I'm getting all this data, you could, I guess, quote unquote, say about these methods, the students are also learning in the process, which is also just really fun to see. And then also it's DCI season.
Yeah,
and I love DCI so much.
Blue Coats are currently winning.
Blue Coats are currently winning, and I'm excited to see if that remains the same. I'm not sure if it will.
It's always interesting when you're in first place in early season because there's a target on your back. As someone who was in first place for the beginning of the season for through the second regional, and then it went downhill. So anything can happen.
Yeah.
This season feels shorter than others.
It does feel shorter.
I think everybody moved in later and left spring training later, and the season's ending earlier, maybe like a week earlier than normal. It feels like
Finals are on the 8th.
Yeah, it's that weekend. That Saturday,
and we might be going to DCI Atlanta.
The plan is to go to DCI Atlanta.
The plan is to go to DCI
unless
Atlanta.
something else happens. So after this, I will probably go buy tickets with them and my wife facilitating.
Sadly. Not me this time.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
This time.
So it'll be us, Marissa, and Amanda.
And maybe Marissa's mom.
Potentially. Oh, really?
Possibly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I like the shows that are there so far. Crown show's quite good. It's nice to see their show design like ideas kind of back to where they were from before.
Yes, thank you, Keith Potter.
Thank you, Keith Potter.
For coming back. Again, I have a whole video that will eventually come out about this whole uniform thing. But yeah, it's just nice to feel like Crown is back on track with show design. Boston is not.
No.
In my opinion.
I agree.
But Keith left and it all...
Yeah.
I say that now, but we'll see how it goes.
We shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
But that's kind of the general gist of my notes section. And then my Christian song of the week is titled Control by Tori Kelly. Song is essentially just about trusting that the Lord is in control through all things and situations. And it grooves. It is such a good
Her Christian
song.
songs are so good.
They're so good.
Check it out on the Grace Jams playlist where you
Grace
can
Jams
groove
playlist.
too on Spotify.
Yes. But that is my notes section.
All right. We kind of already talked about mine, but my big note section is just God redirecting my path towards UGAD in May school and officially closing the door to military music, which I am kind of upset about because I was really looking forward to the possibility of getting to serve the country in that way. But I completely understand the military's issues with what I have. And so, but now I will just perform music as a civilian and I'll have to just do it that way, which was the original plan in the first place. So yeah, and just I have recently used Claude to combine a bunch of repertoire assignments from orchestras in the past, like major orchestras, and they send out the repertoire list, and sometimes it stays online, sometimes it doesn't. People will screenshot it and whatnot. And so I asked Claude to combine all those lists for me, and I haven't done this in undergrad, and it took forever, and Claude did it in like 10 minutes. And it organized a whole entire document of like how many times each group performed it, and then at the end of the document it made like a master list of like which ones repeated it in the list like 5 to 7 times, saying like that's the ones I should practice a lot because most of the time they will be on the required list of future auditions. And just that alone has resparked concert percussion for me, because even though I love playing drum set and that's what I'm teaching privately right now, and I loved that 2 months of just drum set. The only time I touched concert percussion was during this conducting symposium.
Yep.
And that was the first time playing bells and crash cymbals and since school, so it stopped. So I'm excited to get back into it. I've been practicing on a pad at home, so I haven't not been practicing, but yeah, it's just been really cool. And I've learned new ways to practice through teaching my private student. So I showed him how to learn paradiddles, and I described it in a way I've never described before, and I've never seen it described that way before. At least I don't recall. And I took it home and I tried it, and my paradiddles got a million times smoother and faster just because of that method.
Amazing.
Sometimes they teach us. Sometimes they teach us as much as we teach them.
Yes, they do.
I tell them that all the time. I literally told my student that yesterday, like, hey, remember that way I told you that paradiddle method 3 weeks ago when you first started? Like, yeah, it helped me too. So,
all wonderful.
And then my Christian song of the week is God's Story by Ann Wilson.
Oh, good song.
Summertime for me is when I start to listen to country music again. I typically don't like doing that in the winter. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about a cowboy out like freezing. Yeah.
I just growing up at the beach and all that. It's just like country and beach kind of just like meet together for me. And so Ann Wilson is a country singer, but she is dedicated to being a Christian country singer. And she is a traditional rock and country Christian artist. And she is so good. Her newest album, the God Story, is from her newest album. And it's talking about reflecting on everything God's done in your life. So
Wonderful. It's a great sum up of this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, random thought. If we ever decide to release an album, we should call it The Cold Cowboy. Just food for thought. All right. So that was so random.
What? They'd be all in minor key.
It's all minor key.
Oh, no.
We can only record from like December through February. It's the only time we're allowed to record.
And then the
album.
last chord of the last song, we'll do a Pickardy third. And
Pickardy
make it
third.
major.
Yeah. Hey, comment below if you understand what we meant by Pickardy third, because that's going to be a small subset of the
Insert
audience.
cricket sounds here.
Yeah, it's like one person.
I know.
Leave us the comment, please. Anyways, with our antics over, yeah, it's been so great to get to hear about the music endeavors that you both have been embarking on and how the Lord has worked in it. Mm-hmm. And I guess there's nothing left to do except trivia.
So let's go back to the first question. And I have it as number 2 in my notes. That's why I keep saying that. This was the Wii Sports Resort question. The question was, that was too in sync there. How many years had it been between the original Wii Sports Resort and the new upcoming Switch Sports Resort?
All right, flip them and read. I said it came out in 2011, I think. So I said 15 years.
I said it came out in 2012, so making it 14 years.
Ooh. The answer is the game came out in 2009.
What?
Oh,
It was that early?
17 years.
Oh, so I get the
So you
point.
get the point.
Yay!
I am working with people at a restaurant that are 17 years old, and Wii Sports Resort came out when they were.
Oh man, I'm ancient.
The points are now Rocky with 2,
That game's
Josh
that
with
old?
1.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I really was thinking. I thought it was either 11 or 10. I did not think
I
it
was
could be
thinking
9.
11 or 12. That's crazy. Okay, well done. All right.
So Rocky has 2, Josh has 1,
David has 1.
1.
I think we gave him an honorary point because we
Because
both fumbled the World Cup question.
Yeah,
that
the World
badly.
Cup was that bad, so we just gave it to him. Yeah,
It was like an honorary point.
honorary point. Carrying the 1, David.
Next question. Across the 9 generations of Pokemon, what is the average amount of unique Pokemon that have been added to each question?
Flip them and read.
I said 110.
I said 100.
Ooh, okay. The answer is roughly 114.
Oh,
I had
Josh!
115 originally too.
Oh man.
Man,
The
I will
range is
take it.
from the lowest being 72 in one game and the highest being 156 in one game.
Was 72 Gen 2?
I was gonna say 156
Let me see if I still have it
was
pulled up.
Gen 2, or whatever he said.
156. No.
I thought it was a lot of Pokemon.
Gen
that got
2
added.
ends
I
in
don't have the
251 for
question- I don't have
Celebi.
the question pulled up anymore.
Oh,
Uh,
well, we'll find out.
we'll find out.
We'll find out eventually. But yeah, 256. I wonder what generation.
Oh, I got it again.
Oh,
Okay,
here we
I
go.
got it.
Here we
No,
go.
Gen 2 added 99.
Here is the Pokemon numbers from each generation. I was good on the list. Generation 1, 151. Generation 2, 100. Generation 3, 135.
Yep.
Generation 4, 107. Generation 5, 156.
That's the big one.
Gen
Generation
5.
6, 72.
Yeah, they really.
Generation
Gen
7,
6, yeah.
88. Generation 8, 96. And Generation 9, 120.
Now, let's make our predictions. How many new Pokemon entries in Gen 10?
They made a big jump from 8 to 9.
I'm gonna
96,
say they're
120.
spending so much time on it, and it's gonna be so big that they're gonna do 151.
I'm going to say 130. On the dot, 130.
I was going to say like 125. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's probably your guesses are more reasonable because they're not doing just pixel art anymore.
Yeah, 3D graphics. now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, anyways, it's been fun, guys. Truly love getting to be back in the Grace Notes studio with you all, and yeah, it's just encouraging to hear how the Lord's working in your life. And thanks for encouraging me, and thanks for being a part of all of this. It's always a joy.
Absolutely. It's great to be here.
Always.
So I guess with that, I'm Rocky.
I'm Josh.
And I'm David.
And this has been Grace Notes. We'll see you real soon.
On a new computer.
Upgraded. Grace Notes.
Grace Notes. This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you how we did a Grace Notes episode.
We checked to see if the audios were peaking, and they didn't. I don't know what rhymes with peaking.
Peeking! Speaking! On a podcast.
Trick or treating.
Yes.
That's okay.
This part's getting deleting. That's
This
bad.
part's getting deleting.
Word. Crank it, Josh.
Crank!
What's 2 plus 2?
7. Wait.
Uh-oh.